A very good afternoon to all. Welcome to class 12th economics period. We are doing the unit 1950 to 1990, where we have already covered that agriculture being a major concern of India, of Indian economy. We must do some serious steps, or we must take some serious steps for the agriculture. That's what we are studying, that what steps have been taken by the Indian government to improvise the agriculture in the Indian economy, where we have covered that three reforms, actually agrarian reforms, were introduced in India, right? Agrarian reforms were introduced in India. And we have studied that under agrarian reforms, means reforms for the agriculture. See on your screen. Under these reforms for the agriculture, three major reforms or changes took place. Land reforms, then technical reforms, and today the last will be the general reforms. Land reforms we have studied, which we also call institutional reforms, means that what changes we have taken for the land in our economy. For example, we have taken land ceiling and abolition of intermediaries as a land reform. Then we took some steps for technical reforms, and we have studied the green revolution. That green revolution also played a major part in Indian agriculture history, where in the two phases green revolution improvised the situation of agriculture by using the HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, and making our agricultural economy more developed. Tell me, when was Green Revolution launched in India? When was Green Revolution launched in India? Of course, 1966. Mid 1960s, or which we call 1966. Azam, we don't have to write 1960. Either you can write mid 1960s or write the exact number 1966. And you know, it was being there in two phases. It was introduced in India with two phases, and we all are aware of these two phases, right? We all are aware of these two phases. Now, what are these two phases? क्या थे वो two phases? Two phases means that agriculture was basically, first of all, started in rich countries and then in the other countries. In rich countries, what we observe is that in rich countries, agriculture was, it came to rich countries firstly because rich people, rich farmers could easily afford the pesticides or HYV seeds and the other facilities to buy. So it benefited these people first, and then in the second phase it came to other states also, right? In the second phase the whole country started using it. Okay, so this we have already covered. So we have covered the land reforms. The agrarian reforms means agriculture changes में land reforms कर लिया. Then we have covered the technical reforms also. We in the last class we did that what are the achievements of green revolution, कहाँ कहाँ फायदा मिला इसका, and what are the shortcomings of green revolution. That also we have covered. Now coming to the other part, debate over subsidies. Debate over subsidies. First of all, debate over subsidies means whether subsidies should be provided to farmers or not. We are going to see a debate that whether subsidies should be provided to farmers or not. This is the actually debate over subsidies. You know what happens? Debate का यहाँ पे मतलब है, it was observed that earlier in the green revolution, because the things were costlier, HYV seeds were costly, pesticides were costly, the facilities given by the government were costlier, and as a result all farmers were not in a position to go for these things of green revolution. So government decided to provide some subsidized things. Government decided to provide some subsidized facilities to poor people, to poor farmers, that we should definitely provide the subsidized HYV seeds to poor farmers, or we should provide the pesticides or insecticides to poor farmers. So that was a debate. Some economists were in a favor. Some economists were in a favor of subsidies, but some economists were against these subsidies. Some were saying that definitely we should provide the subsidized rates of these green revolution things, institutional reforms to technical reforms to farmers, poor farmers. But some economists were saying that definitely the subsidized rates, HYV seeds or other things should not be given. Now, according to you, what should be there? Please tell me. If you are an economist, what do you suggest? Whether the subsidized rates of HYV seeds, pesticides and other things should be provided to the poor farmers, or we should get the same money as we are taking from other farmers for these products? Please write your answer in the chat box. By the time I'm explaining you that those who were in the favor of subsidies, what were they saying? The government, they were saying that the government should provide farmers. The government should provide farmers the agricultural subsidies. The agricultural subsidies, because farming in India is a risky business. We all know farming in India is actually a risky business, right? Because it was dependent on the rainfall also, plus you don't know about the weather conditions, that the weather which is actually needed for the production of some crops, if that weather is not favorable that time, definitely the farmer will get into the losses. Take the example of Assam this time. अभी Assam का example आप देख रहे हैं, डिब्रूगढ़, Assam, daily news में आता है that due to the heavy flood in these states, in those areas, there is a complete loss to farmers. There is a complete loss to farmers. Then don't you think that we should provide the subsidies to people, to poor farmers? Because farmers are actually taking care of all food and fodders for the individual and even as well as for the animals. Then don't you think if they are into the agricultural business, which is the most riskiest business of India, then definitely they should be encouraged by providing the new technology at subsidized rates, so that they should feel motivated, right? The second point we can write, like most of the farmers are very poor, as we all know. Most of the farmers, if we talk about the suppose if we talk about West Bengal, if we talk about Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, what I see that most of the farmers there are actually very poor, and they are not able to afford the cost of new technology if subsidies are not given. If subsidies are not given, if the subsidized rate is not given to them, they would not be in a position at all. They would not be in a position at all to afford this technology. That's why in the first phase of Green Revolution, only the rich farmers could afford to buy these things, and poor farmers were not able to afford these things at all. As a result, क्या निकला उसका? Result ये हुआ that in the first phase only it benefited the rich farmers. So definitely we should provide the subsidies to poor farmers so that they can also afford to buy the pesticides, the HYV seeds or the other things the new technology so that they can also get the benefit of that, right? Third, eliminating subsidies will increase the income inequality. We have a 5-year common plan, namely equity. Remember, 5-year plan, namely equity, which says that there should be the equality in all the states of the country. According to that, definitely there should be the equality in the income also, and inequalities should be avoided. Income inequalities must be avoided. So definitely we should try to eliminate the income inequalities between rich and poor, and for that we have to give them the subsidies. So these points were the points which tells us about definitely the subsidies should be given. ये points हमें कहते हैं subsidies should be given. But let us study some other points which states why subsidies should not be given. जिन्होंने कहा subsidies should not be given. Now why subsidies should not be given? Let us study that also. कि subsidies क्यों नहीं देनी चाहिए. See, some economists said that once the technology is found profitable and is widely adopted, subsidies should be phased out since their purpose had been served. अब कुछ economists ने ये कहा कि when people have adopted, many people have adopted the new technology, when many people have adopted the new technology and it is being widely spread in the country, then subsidies should be taken back. Subsidies वापस ले लेनी चाहिए. Further, they added that the subsidies are basically meant to benefit the farmers at a substantial amount of fertilizer, also benefit the fertilizer industry, and among farmers, the subsidy largely benefits the farmers in the more prosperous region. Therefore, it is argued that there is no case for continuing with fertilizer subsidies. It doesn't benefit the target group and it is a huge burden on government's finances. कुछ इकोनॉमिस्ट ने कहा that providing subsidies to all people or all farmers in the country would be just the burden on the government's finance. That it would be a great government's expenditure, that government is going to spend a lot of money, on these subsidies. So that should not be there. काफी इकोनॉमिस्ट ने ऐसा कहा कि when we are providing the subsidies, we should provide it for some period of time only. If you are taking everybody into the consideration of subsidy and also for the longer period of time, then definitely it is not going to give a great impact on the country's income. The country's income will definitely reduce, as providing the subsidy is going to give the huge burden on the government's expenditure or government's finance. So they said the subsidies should not be given. उन लोगों ने कहा subsidies नहीं देनी चाहिए, right? So therefore we can say that subsidies should be given or not to be given. That is basically a debate, but we can just justify this debate by the pros and cons of these two situations. I hope I am clear. Subsidies, debate over subsidies. We had to just study उस time पे जो debate हुई, we had to just study that debate only. Now moving further, last topic of this agriculture chapter, general reforms. Now what in the general reforms? First of all, agrarian reforms had three parts. That there are three types of major changes in the agrarian reforms. In the agriculture, three major changes. The first is the land reforms, which we have studied, which means changes in the field of land. The second, if we call, is the green revolution. Green revolution is basically the technical reforms, which means the changes in the field of technology. And now if we talk about the third one, and the third one is actually it is the general reforms. Now we talk about what general points are being there in the agrarian reform. So let us study the general reforms. First, credit facilities. Now what other changes were taken by the government to improve the agriculture in Indian economy? The first point is credit facilities. Credit facility means government basically opened several banks, several cooperative credit societies to help the poor farmers in Indian economy. यानी कि government opened various banks, various regional rural banks in various rural areas so that it can directly benefit, so that it can directly benefit the poor people of the country. And not only this, the government also started NABARD. The government also started NABARD. What is NABARD? NABARD is the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. It was basically the apex bank in the history of the agriculture, which was purely dedicated to the agriculture and rural development bank. So it was started in 1982, and the main aim to start this bank was also to provide the credit facilities to the poor farmers in rural areas, so that the farmers get the ample of income, the proper income with themselves to buy the commodities or to buy the raw material or to buy the HYV seeds or any new technology that have been given in the economy. I hope I'm clear that the very first general reform is credit facilities. Credit facilities means the government started the banks, regional rural banks, and also the NABARD, which is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, which was started in 1982. And it was started just because it can directly help the rural people, so that if it will help the rural people, definitely it is going to give a great impact on the rural people, poor farmers, that they are going to buy the HYV seeds or to adopt the new technology which is there in the economy. Next देखिए, the second general reform is irrigation facilities. Through the green revolution, as I told you, we started using the HYV seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, other things. Same way, the irrigation facilities were also improved, because we all know that for irrigation we had to first depend on the rainfall, and there was a problem of rainfall in the country. Even now, these days also, either there is a lot of rainfall in any year, the situation of flood, or in some years there is in fact no rainfall. So definitely we had to improve the irrigation facilities, which came under the general reforms. Irrigation facilities have been provided to farmers to supply the required quantity of water, because they need water for the irrigation. So to make sure that they get the proper facility of water, proper supply of water, the government introduced providing the irrigation facilities to poor people. In 1950, almost only 15% cultivation was done with the help of water. But abhi almost 60% areas में 60% तक water पूरा proper supply हो चुका है. And even dry farming is also being encouraged and is being practiced by many farmers. Farmers को बोला जा रहा है they should go for the dry farming also. We all know about dry farming, जहाँ पे without the use of water or with less use of water we can do that. So ये भी चीज पे focus किया गया. The third general reforms is, if we talk about the third one now, that is organized market system, organized marketing system. Government made an organized marketing system also, that there should be a proper organized market where farmers will be coming and they will be selling their commodities in the market. They should come to the market and they should sell the commodities properly. So an organized marketing system was also being started, because if an organized marketing system is there, agar ek organized marketing system hoga, then definitely it will lead to help the farmers, that they would be coming under a proper situation, a proper place, and they will be selling all their commodities into the market. So cooperative marketing societies were also framed for this purpose, and government made various markets also, proper regulated markets, as we are going to study these markets in the chapter rural development in further classes as well, where we will study that like Apni Mandi in Punjab. So in Punjab, there is a proper regulated market, Apni Mandi, where the farmers can come without the use of intermediaries. They can directly sell it to the customers, which is actually a very, very great impact for the farmers, as it helps them to earn more profit and get more marketable surplus. So government emphasized on organizing the market system also to make the proper organized market system. And the last point if we talk about is minimum support price, that we have already covered in class 11. Minimum support price, MSP, that government has fixed up a minimum support price for the farmers, that at the minimum unko itna to paisa milna hi chahiye for their produce. Because kya hota hai usse, if suppose they don't get that money which they have produced, utna paisa agar unko minimum nahi milta, so definitely they can get into the losses. So to make sure that they should not go into the losses, they should get it the minimum, they should get the minimum support price. It is being reformed. Government ne fix kar diya that this much of money should definitely be provided to the farmers. Kitna paisa to farmers ko definitely milna hi milna chahiye. So minimum support price was actually being started by the government, because when minimum support price was started, that means that minimum this much of money definitely they people are going to have, and as a result they would not result to into the losses, and they would be definitely even in the situation of flood, earthquake or famines also, the buffer stock can be used, as we have already studied in class 11th about minimum support price and the buffer stock from that situation. So these were the general reforms. I hope this is clear to all. So that was the topic agriculture from 1950 to 1990. Let me just tell you once again that we are studying the unit, the time period of 1950 to 1990. So when we are studying the time period of 1950 to 1990, first we studied about Indian economic planning in this period. Economic planning के बारे में पढ़ा हमने. Second chapter we are studying is agriculture, that what steps were taken by the agriculture, was taken for the agriculture by the government, that we have studied here. जिसमें हमने पहले पढ़ा था what are the importances of agriculture. Second, what are the problems of agriculture. Importance of problems क्यों पढ़े? Because we should know that what are the problems in agriculture, so that if we make any policies and plans for the agriculture in future, we should keeping in mind that what are the problems, so that all the problems are rectified properly. And we studied the importance of Indian agriculture also. Why we studied importance? We studied importance in such a way that if we know that what is the importance of agriculture, in that case definitely it is going to impact us. If we know that these are the importance of agriculture, कि ये importance agriculture की, उस case के अंदर definitely जब policies बनाएंगे तो it is going to help us, right? Okay, so if I talk about the next thing, अगर मैं बात करूँ अब next उसकी, that what we have studied, तो मैंने उसके अंदर बताया आपको agrarian reforms. Agrarian reforms. Agrarian reforms के अंदर we have studied 3: land reforms, then technical reforms or other reforms. Land reforms, technical reforms और other reforms. Land reforms means जिसमें हमने land ceiling के बारे में पढ़ा, abolition of intermediaries के बारे में पढ़ा, green revolution और technical reforms हमने HYV seeds, fertilizers इन सब के बारे में पढ़ा, and other reforms means general reforms के अंदर हमने general चीजें पढ़ी, that market system was improved and minimum support price was there. ये सब चीजें हमने इसके अंदर पढ़ी. So that is all about the agriculture of this period. Now the third chapter in this time period 1950 to 1990 will be the industry. Now we will study about the industry, that what is the industry and how industry is being benefited from this. Industry को कैसे benefit मिला? What policies were framed by Indian economy for the industries? कि इंडियन इकोनॉमी ने इंडस्ट्रीज के लिए क्या क्या पॉलिसीज फ्रेम करी. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन हमारा, नेक्स्ट चैप्टर हमारा इंडस्ट्री रहेगा. वी विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम टुमारो. एंड नाउ टेल मी अबाउट द डाउट्स ऑफ दिस कंप्लीट टॉपिक, दैट इज एग्रीकल्चर फ्रॉम दिस पीरियड.